Heal your body and not your symptoms. Be a survivor, not the victim. Treat your body right.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. I'm living my life that is best, y'all. No stress, good health, I'm blessed, y'all.
Love, peace, and blessings, everyone. This is Sakina with Natural Max Health. I'd like to welcome you to my channel, and I thank you so very much for watching. So on my last video, we discussed removing inflammation and toxins from the body. And the toxin that we discussed was an overgrowth of candida or an imbalance of candida. And the topics that we discussed, we first discussed what candida was. We discussed what an overgrowth of candida was. We discussed what the symptoms were. We discussed what disturbed the balance of candida, meaning what caused there to be an overgrowth or imbalance of candida in the body. And finally, we briefly discussed how to rid the body of candida. Now, as I stated last week, we got a little bit into diet, but as I discussed on the last video, that on our part 2 of restoring a natural balance of candida with the body, we would discuss more of how to restore a natural balance of candida in the body, how to reverse it, how to get rid of that overgrowth, how to starve those cells. So let's get started. What's really important to know about candida overgrowth is that a weakened immune system gives candida an opportunity to run rapid, or to have a weakened immune system contributes to an imbalance of candida overgrowth in our bodies, a harmful imbalance, as everything in nature needs to be balanced. So when there's an imbalance of candida in our body, it's harmful and it's toxic. So a weakened immune system contributes to there being a imbalance of overgrowth, candida overgrowth in our bodies. So one of the things that we need to do to restore a natural balance back is to strengthen our immune system. And we strengthen our immune system by eating whole foods. We want to eat foods that are rich in proteins, that are rich in minerals, rich in vitamins, rich in your healthy fats, not just fats, but your healthy fats. And that's going to start to rebuild and strengthen your immune system. Another thing to know about an imbalance of candida in the body is that it can result in a condition in what many have come to be known as leaky gut. So we also want to repair our guts. So we want to, 1, strengthen the immune system. 2, we want to improve our gut health. Another thing we want to do is take probiotics, because probiotics is going to restore a natural balance of good bacteria in our gut. One of the reasons for the overgrowth of candida or the imbalance of candida in our body is that the bad bacteria has outnumbered the good bacteria. So we want to restore the good bacteria back to our bodies, back to our guts, and we do that by taking probiotics. Okay, so moving right along, when it comes to a restoring balance of candida in the body, you want to cleanse and you want to detox. You want to do a candida cleanse, a candida detox. And I actually offer on my line an amazing candida cleanse that works very well. I will provide a link to that in the description box so that you can learn more about it, or if you are interested in purchasing. Now, when it comes to restoring a natural balance of candida to the body, yes, you want to strengthen your immune system, you want to repair gut health, you want to take those probiotics, you want to cleanse and detox, get all of those toxins out of your body, whether they're environmental, whether they're due to the food that you have eating. But what is going to be the most influential contributing factor to restoring a natural balance of candida to your body is diet. Now, on my last video, we did discuss diet, and I discussed the foods that fed candida. And just a quick recap of those foods, of course, it was sugar, alcohol, caffeine, fermented foods. Normally, fermented foods are good for you, but when it comes to an overgrowth of candida, fermented foods is something that should be avoided. You want to avoid mushrooms, as it can cause an increase in the growth of the yeast. You want to avoid your starchy vegetables such as corn, white potatoes, green peas, and butternut squash, grains, gluten, and other processed foods, of course. Now, when we get to processed foods, that's where it gets a little tricky. Most of us know that pizza, potato chips, cookies, cakes, candy, things like that are processed foods. But what many people don't know is when it comes to your animal protein, when it comes to poultry, when it comes to cattle, if you are eating cattle, if you are eating poultry that are being fed foods that are not supposed to be a part of their diet, at that time, they become processed as well. And as I stated last week, a lot of these foods, or so-called foods, have been so chemically altered. They have so many chemicals and hormones and things like that, and preservatives in it, that according to my research, they are no longer even foods. They are products. Now, what I mean by when cattle and poultry eat foods that are not a normal part of their diet, they become processed, is take the cattle, for instance. A cattle eats grass. They're supposed to eat grass. If a cattle is fed grain or corn, that's something that's outside of his diet, that cattle is going to become sick and it is going to malfunction. And I always tell people when I tell this story, you've probably heard it before if you're not new to my channel, think of your car. If your car take gas and you give it diesel, or if it take diesel and you give it gas, what's going to happen to it? It's not going to work properly. It's going to malfunction. So think about the animal protein that you eat. If the animal you eat is supposed to eat grass and it's been fed grain and corn, it's going to get sick. And if you in turn eat that meat, you're going to get sick as well. If you eat poultry or any other animal protein that's been given hormones or antibiotics, you are then ingesting those hormones, you are ingesting those antibiotics, and in return it is processed food and you are going to get sick. And if you caught the first video, you may recall that I mentioned antibiotics is one of the contributing factors to an overgrowth of candida in the body. As with any medicine that suppresses the immune system. So when it comes to avoid feeding the overgrowth of candida, you want to avoid the foods that I mentioned. Now, I am not saying that you cannot have animal protein, but I am saying that we should be selective in the animal protein we choose and in the quantity. If you eat cattle, you definitely want grass-fed. You want to eat cattle that is being fed what it's supposed to eat. If you want chicken, You want to get the chicken that has not been given hormones, that has not been given antibiotics. And quite honestly, when it comes to what a chickens are supposed to eat, that is some research that I highly recommend you do on your own, because I have done research on that and I quite honestly don't know what is natural to the chicken's diet. Some of the research I read suggests that chickens, they're dinosaurs. Their ancestors are dinosaurs and they pretty much eat anything. And I myself have seen with my own eyes, I have seen chickens eat rats and other rodents. So I don't know what their true diet consists of, but I do know they should not be given hormones so that they grow fast. They should not be given antibiotics. Because if they're given hormones to make them grow and mature faster, when we ingest that meat, we are going to have this, it's going to have the same effect. And that's why you see a lot of little girls developing very early. They're starting their periods early. You're seeing a lot of young boys with what is some people call man boobs. Right now, the technical term to that fades my memory, but we definitely want to be careful of that. Now, what do we want? What does help to break down the or slow down the overgrowth of candida or restore that balance? Now, naturally, you do want the whole food diet, the real foods that's packed with minerals and nutritions. You want your healthy fats. You want foods that are high in vitamins, high in minerals. You want your herbs and things like that. But for some of the other substances that help to restore a balance of a normal balance of candida to the body, you have coconut oil. Coconut oil, according to my research, helps to break down the cell wall of yeast. Garlic. When eaten raw, garlic acts as an antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal. Now, eating raw garlic may not sound appealing to you. Some cases I have seen where they say you can mix it, chop it up, mix it in a little honey, a little bit in the sugar. But if you saw my first video, you know that sugars are not recommended when you are trying to restore a natural balance of candida in the body. So I recommend getting garlic capsules. Oregano. According to my research and just according to, just knowledge that I've known for a while, oregano has some of the best natural antiviral, antiparasitic, antifungal, and antibacterial properties. It's also anti-inflammatory, which means it's going to reduce inflammation in your body. It will work in your body it will aid the body in healing itself, restoring it back to normal. So once again, there's the oregano. You can get oregano capsules. You can add the oregano herb to your food. There are so many different ways of consuming oregano and adding it to your diet. Cruciferous vegetables. I have such a hard time saying that word. This is going to include your greens, your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, and cauliflowers. These foods are great at repopulating good bacteria in your GI tract. Ginger. Ginger is also an anti-inflammatory and it's antifungal. And it also helps to reduce inflammation in the body. And as we all know, an overgrowth of candida causes a lot of inflammation in the body. Once again, lots of ways to add ginger to your diet. You can boil ginger and make it into a tea. You can chop up ginger or grind it, put it in a stir fry, put it in your food, put it in a smoothie. There are so many ways of incorporating ginger into your diet. According to my research, wild-caught salmon is also good for restoring a natural balance of candida because of the omega-3. So any foods or most foods that are antifungal, antibacterial, good at reducing inflammation is going to be good at reducing or restoring the body back to a normal state of candida. Now remember, the body heals itself, but you have to promote the right environment for it to do so. And in promoting the right environment for the body so that it can rid itself of an overgrowth of candida, one, as we mentioned, you want the good diet. You want to cleanse and detox. You want to strengthen that immune system. You want to heal your gut, and you want a probiotic so that you can restore good bacteria back to your gut and your digestive system. So once again, I would like to share some of my references with you. This is pretty much the same references I had last week or what I have this week. The Body Ecology Diet by Donna Gates. If you cannot see that, I would definitely put it above. The Body Ecology Diet by Donna Gates. African Holistic Health by Dr. Layla Africa. And another book that has helped me, I didn't really use it for references, but it's the Body Ecology Living Cookbook. Because a lot of times when we start these new diets, it's like, what can I eat? What do I prepare? Both of these books, and I highly recommend them, they are filled with recipes, ingredients, and how to make them. So if you're wanting to do better, if you're wanting to a healthy diet, I recommend these books, and I will definitely put them up front. I guess I could put a link in the description box, but just so you know, I do not know Donna Gates. She does not know me. I do not have anything to offer. I do not benefit anything if you purchase her books. I just want for you all to be healthy and heal and get the information that you need to empower you to heal your body and to reverse sickness and disease. Okay? Well, that is all for today. I hope that this video was beneficial to you. I hope that you learned something. If you do, I hope that you would give me a thumbs up. If you have not already, I hope that you will subscribe to my channel. And I hope that you would share this video with someone else who may find the information beneficial. So as always, that is it for now. Until next time, be well and be healthy and have a great healthy week. Ta-ta!